Okay, we're looking at the surface area, figuring out the surface area of three-dimensional shapes. Okay, here we have a rectangular prism, and if you look at your paper, you see that this is the formula for figuring out the surface area of a rectangular prism. It's perimeter times height plus 2 times the base, the area of the base. And if now you could see that that is a you could tell that this is a rectangular prism, like on its side, right? Fell on its side because this is the height here, okay? And so when we figure out the perimeter, it will be the perimeter of the base, okay? So 4 plus 3, you know this side is 3, and you know this side is 4 because this is a square, okay? This has to be 3 because this is 3. This has to be 4 because this is 4. So it's 4 plus 3, 4 plus 3. That gives you your perimeter, okay? 6 is the height, okay? That's the height because it's on its side. Plus 2 times the area of the base. Again, this is the base. And how do we find the area of a rectangle? Because it is a rectangle. You see that the sides are not equal. Okay, this is 3 and this is 4. And this is 3 and 4. So they're not equal. So it's the area of a rectangle. So area of a rectangle is length times width. You remember that. Okay, length times width. So the length is 4, the width is 3, so it's 4 times 3. Okay, so now we got that. When you add this up, the perimeter, you get 14. 14 times 6, the height, and plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 6 is 84. 2 times 12 is 24. So that equals 108. They don't ask us for units. So again, we're dealing with surface area. Area, if it's inches, is square. If it's centimeter, is square. Whatever it is, you're going to square it. Because you're dealing with area. Okay? All right. So now let's move on to the surface area of a triangular prism. Okay? Triangular prism. So that's the surface area of a that's a triangular prism. This is a rectangular prism. Okay, so the formula for the area of a rectangular prism is 1/2 times perimeter times slant height plus base, okay, or the area of the base. All right, so you got 1/2 times perimeter of the base, okay, the base, times slant height. This is your slant height right here, okay, a line from the apex to the base, plus the area of the base, okay, the base. All right, so what's the perimeter of the base? Well, this is 3 inches, right? So this has to be 3 inches and 3 inches. So this looks like a square. Okay, in a square, to find the perimeter of a square, you know it is 4s, right? The perimeter of a square is 4 side, right? So 4 times 3, right? Or 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, okay? Or 4 times 3, okay? 4 times 3, okay? And that is 12, all right? And then we know that the slant height they give it to us is 5 inches, okay? And they actually do not give us any, they don't give us any units. So you can forget about inches, they don't give us any units, okay? Now, okay, so it's 5, the slant height, and the base is a square, right? You remember we get the area of a square. The area of a square is side square, right? Remember that. So the side is 3, so it's going to be 3 square, which is 3 times 3, okay, which is 9. All right? So, again, the perimeter is 4 side, or 4 times 3, the length of the side. Okay, we're basically adding all just basically adding all the sides, or we could use the formula for square, which is 4 times 3, or 4s. Okay, that is the okay. So 1/2 times 12 times 5 plus 9. Okay, half of 12, or 0.5 times 12 is 6. Okay, times 5 plus 9. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 9 is 39. Okay, and these two have been checked in the book, and they're both correct. All right, so the good thing about a video is that you could go back, you could always go back and look again and see where I came up with the numbers and so forth, okay? Now remember, this is the formula right here, okay? The formula for the okay, 1/2, okay? Okay, for the triangular prism. This is the formula. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. Now I'm going to do 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Okay, so right now you are looking at problem 3 and problem 4. Okay? Okay, you are looking at problem 3 and problem 4. Okay, problem 3 looks like a cube. Okay, because all these sides are equal. It's like a cube. So the formula to find the surface area of a cube is 6 times side squared. So 6 times, each side is 2. So 6 times 2 square. Okay? And 2 square is, is 2 times 2. So 2 square is 2 times 2. So it's 6 times 4, which is 24. Okay? They don't give us any units, but remember, if it's inches, it's square. If it's centimeters, square. If it's feet, it's square, and so on, because you're dealing with area. Okay? All right. Okay, so here we have another we have another triangular prism. And here is our, okay, I'm gonna put a square around the formulas, okay? Here's the formula for a rectangular prism. 1/2 times perimeter times slant height plus base, the area of the base. So 1/2 times perimeter. What is the perimeter? The perimeter of the base. Remember that. Of base. Okay? So 12, 12. It looks like a square, right? So it's going to be, the formula is going to be 12 4 times, or do you remember the formula to get the perimeter of a square, which is 4s, okay, or 4 times 12, okay? All right, you remember that, okay? Slant height is 8, okay? They're not giving us any units, so you don't have to worry about the units at this time. Now the slant height is 8. Excuse me, 8. So I'll put the slant height. Okay, is 8. So we bring our 8 right here. And then area of base, remember it's a square. So area of a square is area of a square is side square. Remember that? Side square. The side is 12 square, which is 12 times 12. Okay, 12 times 12. 12 times 12, which is 144. Okay? All right, so there you go. Now you see how I got my numbers. Now half of 148, or 0.5 times 48, is going to give you 24. Okay? Then 24, bring down the 8, bring down the 144. 24 times 8 is 192, plus 144 equals 336. Okay? Again, I have checked these against the book, and they are correct. Okay, and here we have another rectangular prism. Okay, another rectangular prism. Okay, and this was a triangular prism. Okay, and in a rectangular prism, just like the first one we did, here's the formula. Okay, perimeter times height plus 2 times the base. Okay, perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, against the perimeter, I did 4 plus 4, 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4. I did that to show you really what's going on, that you're basically adding up all the sides of a square. But our formula for a square, the perimeter of a square, we know that it is 4 times side. So it is 4 times side, which is, oh, I'm sorry about that. Hold on, I apologize. It is not a square. Okay, so it is not a square. All right, so it's actually not a square. So how do we get the perimeter? It's a rectangle, right? See, it's a rectangle. Okay, rectangle. So a rectangle, perimeter of a rectangle is Okay, perimeter of a rectangle if you remember, is 2 times length plus 2 times width. Okay, so the length is 5, so it's going to be 2 times 5 plus 2 times 4. Okay, 2 times 4. Okay, you remember that? This is the 5 is the length, 4 is the width. So 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 times 4 is 8. And that's how you got your 18. Okay? Or if you do 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4, you get the same thing. But it's good to follow the formula. Okay? Alright? Now, plus 2 times base. Okay? I'm sorry, height. Okay, perimeter times height. So we got the perimeter. Now the height is 12. You see that standing up? The first one was leaning on its side. This one is standing up. You see it's 12. Okay? And again, they don't give us units. Okay, so you see it's 12. Okay? So perimeter, height. Okay, and then 2 times the base. Okay, this is base. And the base, how do we get the base of a rectangle? Because it's a rectangle, not all sides are equal. Remember, length times width. That's how we get the area of a rectangle. Okay? Okay, so let me do that here. Okay, area of rectangle. Of rectangle. Okay, area of rectangle. All right. So now you see where I got my numbers. 5 times 4 is length times width of the rectangle 2 times because there's 2 bases. So 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 20 is 40. Here, perimeter times height, 18 times 12 is 216. 2 times 20 is 40. 216 plus 40 is 256. Okay? And again, this has been verified with the answers in the book.